In this video, I want to talk through 4 stretches that I think you should be doing every day, both in the morning and in the evening, so that it can help with your back pain. So let's go. Thanks for checking out the channel. My name's John, head therapist here at John W Sports Injury. If you are new to our content, it's great to have you along. What we want to be doing at this channel is 3 simple things. Help you understand your body so you can get rid of any pain or weakness, so ultimately you can go on and achieve your health and wellness goals. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you've been following our content and you like this stuff, make sure you're hitting subscribe, hit the bell notification so we let you know more tips and videos just like this. But today we're going to be talking about back pain, a very common thing. In fact, research has shown that about 80% of us are going to suffer with back pain. But I think actually the percentage is higher. People that get a general ache through that back, and one of the typical times to suffer this is perhaps first thing in the morning or last thing at night. So I want to talk about 4 stretches that you can be doing from your own bed before you get up and before you go to sleep to help out with that back pain. Now, firstly, why do we get these problems first thing in the morning or last thing at night? Well, first thing in the morning follows a pattern of sleep. Our body's designed to be moving. We were hunter-gatherers when we were designed to be moving around. But during the period of sleep, we remain relatively static for a longer period of time. So as a result, our muscles aren't used to getting working, so first thing in the morning, we can feel very tight and restricted. Last thing at night, what's happening there is we've had the pressures of the day. We might have been sitting at a desk, we might have gone to the gym, we might have had a heavy physical day at work. Things that can contribute to us by the end of the day feeling quite sore in those areas. And we typically spend the time before we go to bed being quite static. So if we've got those pressures of the day and then we sit down to watch TV for a few hours, then ultimately this can all add to back pain. So what we need to do is go through 4 stretches that you're going to do every day and every night in order to make you feel better. So what I'm going to do is dive over to the bed and show you exactly what I mean. So the first stretch, now a reminder with our static stretching that what we're looking to do is to hold each of these stretches for 30 seconds. So the first one is really to work the lower back or the glutes area. And all we're looking to do is lay with our shoulders nice and flat. And you want to look away from the side that you're stretching. So if I bring my leg across my body into this stretch, I look that way. And then what you want to do is take your other hand and look to just pull down on that leg. Now what we're creating here is some rotation or some torsion in my spine. At the top of my spine, I'm looking in one direction, and then the lower spine, the lumbar area, I'm rotating that in the other way. And what you should feel is a pull all through that hip area. It's quite common to, at this point, feel some sort of crack or release in the spine. And people often ask me what this is. What's happening here as we rotate through that spine is that the joint can be released and the air that was trapped in that joint, following perhaps static posture, is then released. And so that's why we get this nice feeling, we call it a cavitation, of the joint opening up, and it may instantly make us feel better. But what we're looking to do is really stretch out those glutes when we're looking to do that. Now, from there, so that's the lower part of our back, getting some rotation. What we can look to do is almost do the opposite at the other end of the spine, at the top of our spine, and really look to open up the upper body area. So for this one, we almost get into that same position of just dropping our leg down across our body. Okay, but this time we allow the top half to rotate. Now the important thing in this stretch is that our leg remains flat down onto the surface, onto the bed. Now we call this sometimes the bow and arrow stretch, because you start off that position as if you were holding a bow and arrow and then you're pulling back, like you're pulling back the bow. But what we do is we then just carry that arm on, and you'll start again to feel that rotation. So by keeping my leg fixed, I keep my lower spine rotated in one direction, and then bringing this arm across, I start to rotate through the upper part of the back. So this is a nice stretch for the upper part of the back. And a quick trick that can help here, reminder, don't let that leg, you see the stretch becomes, I come off stretch really if I left that knee go up, we keep that leg down. But the reminder here, or trick, sorry, I should say, is if we breathe in and have a big inhalation and then slowly exhale, you will find that you'll be able to stretch even further. So a really good way to start your day or finish your day by opening up the lower part and the upper part of your back and body. So once we finish those 2 stretches, 30 seconds on each stretch. You're going to do those on both sides. We can go into what I think is an important one, but often miss one, and that's targeting our hip flexors. These are the muscles at the front. We're talking about the back today, so why am I going on to the front? Well, these muscles that live as a deep stomach muscle and cross our hips actually come and attach onto the lumbar spine, onto the vertebrae. And when we sit, so if you've been sitting at a desk all day, if you've been crouched over lifting things, we really tighten up those hip flexors. So we want to get into a position where we have one knee on the bed, we can put a foot out in front of us. So we find ourselves in this position. From here, what we want to do is allow our knee to rock forwards, and you should start to feel a pull through this leg in the front of the hip here. So I can feel this in my left hand side. To get a bigger stretch, it's a case of just bringing the hands above the head and just looking to tip the chest backwards. So I just really look to open up that hip, and I really feel that, extend that stretch through that hip flexor there. Again, we can then repeat that on the other side, 30 seconds on each side. Now from this position, we can hit our final stretch. So we're here and we've worked our hip flexor. Now we have this other muscle in our lower back. We call this muscle our QL, or the quadratus lumborum. Really important muscle, can easily become dysfunctional, but like those hip flexors, it actually hangs onto our lumbar spine here. So it actually attaches onto those vertebrae. So if that can get a little bit tight, that can become quite sore. So if we are then going from this hip flexor stretch here on the left hand side, I just bring that foot back to neutral. Then what we can do is bring our hands above our head again, and now I just tip off to the right hand side. And as I tip off to that right hand side, that stretch you should feel down your left hand side. That's getting into that QL muscle. So we're looking to, again, hold that for 30 seconds. Then we can just change and simply repeat on the other side. So that is a 4-minute stretching routine. It's a 30-second on each stretch. So both sides will take you 1 minute per stretch. 4 stretches takes you 4 minutes. Now what I think is, by starting your day, by allowing an extra 4 minutes, even if you wake up 4 minutes earlier, this will allow you to feel more sprightly when you get out of bed. It will allow you to feel more energized. We can do some focus on some breathing patterns as well. All things to really start our day in the right way. And then when you finish the day, it can be really fantastic to just ease out those stresses of the day, help you to have a good sleep, and overall feel really bright, energetic, and it will be really making a difference to that back pain by stretching those key areas. So reminder, it's the glute stretch where we pull the leg across the body. It's the upper body stretch with the bow and arrow where we look to open up that chest with the rotation. Remember that we're fixing one part of the spine, that's the important bit, and then rotating the other part. Then we've got the hip flexors, then the QL. Has that been helpful? Is this something that you're going to try and pop into your daily routine? If it is, hit that like button. That shows me that this is the type of practical stuff you want to be seeing. And as I mentioned, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you're subscribing now by hitting that bell notification. And here's another video that might help you out in your journey to achieving your wellness goals. I'll see you on the next video.